write a little video for the class I am teaching at the Freight and Salvage Coffee House in Berkeley, California. And it's a tune, an Irish tune called Julia Delaney in the key of D minor, which means we get a D, an E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, and occasionally a C sharp. And the tune sounds like this. Julia Delaney. Now to go over some of the notes. In the first part, the first phrase goes like this. So that's D, C, A, G, F, E, F. Then we're playing a C chord, so it's going to be E, C. Oh, I got that low C out there. And then that F, E, F, A. And then we do the whole phrase more or less again. But now, the second time we come to this phrase, we jump up to the A. And I'm playing a C natural and a little turnaround phrase. So that's C, D, E, F, E. Then we start the first phrase again. And then the closing phrase. There's the C sharp. So the whole A part sounds like this. Turn around phrase. Then in the second part we get to go a little pickup note. It's a D, E, and we're going to hit an F. So we're doing skip up to A. Now we're going to go E, C, G, C, A, C. To do this, what I'm doing is I'm putting, let's see if I can show you, my second finger right about there, and it's holding both the E string and the A string on the note G on the E, C on the A string. So I'm kind of using it like a capo, which means that when I'm playing the tune, when I'm doing this, going back and forth between C and G, A, C, G, C. This finger doesn't have to move. This, my second finger right there, is just hanging out. Then I'm doing two different kinds of bowings. Most of the time I'm doing the figure 8 bowing on this, where I'm slurring across the string change and then bowing. So every other time I'm slurring across that string change, then I'm changing the bow direction. Slur, change, slur, change. So it's down, down, up, down. And my hand, when I'm doing this, let's see which way do I turn, is tracing, if you will, a little figure 8. See, I should do them over here. Figure 8. Here's a very exaggerated one. The other one is a circle where it can go this way or that way, but where your string changing is happening every time your bow direction changes down, up, down, up. This makes the hand go in a circular motion. So if you string change every other time, slur, slur, change, slur, change, slur, change, slur, change, slur, you get a figure 8 bowing. The difference in sound is this. Figure 8. Every time. A little bit choppier with the every time, with kind of a smooth figure with a smoothish change with the figure 8. So you get a different sound. Both are good. Use them both. That's the figure 8. That's the circular bowing. Try them both. Then we have a little phrase that goes just from F, E, skip up to A, and then sometimes I throw a little pinky. Just throw it at the string. Let it be a little interruption for what we call a cut. There's that C sharp again right at the end to lead us back to the D note. So after you do this, the second closing phrase. So we go F, E, D, F, E, D, C, D flat, A, D, D, C sharp, D. So there's the whole tune. Another thing that I throw in are called bowed triplets. So we're going to go. A bowed triplet is usually done by kind of letting your wrist jerk, and a little jerk of the wrist, and having your hand and fingers very loose. So you get a little ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. Sometimes you can do it on the up bow, ba-da-da, ba-da-da, down bow, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. The down bow starts down and usually goes up. The up bow starts up and usually goes down. And there is a third one, which is a little more challenging, but very useful to have a down, down. So the differences are like this. Here's an up bow. And if you can watch my wrists and fingers. Up, down, down, up, down, 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 something like that. You can see that they're very loose, and my fingers are doing a little bit of this motion. My wrist is doing a little, and it's not emanating very much from my elbow, so it's not like my hand is tight, but it's much more just a little sort of a flick of the wrist and then a bounce of the bow. This is the up, down, up, down, up. Up, down, up, down, up. Here's the down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up. Here's up, down, up, down. Here's down, and continuing down. So you should try to do or up, down. Try all those varieties. Another thing to experiment with the bow triplet is whether you're playing them near the frog, which gives you a very crunchy sound, or near the tip of the bow, which gives you a very cleaner sound. So play around with the position of the bow and being able to do those triplets at any spot on the bow, and play around with the circular versus the figure eight bowing, and have a good time with Julia Delaney.